Good evening. Welcome to Pat's Card Corner. This week has just flown by like super fast. So I hope you're all ready for the fun card that we're going to make tonight. And if you're watching, if you want to say hi and where you're from or anything else you want to tell me, I'd love to chat. So we are going to make a kind of a fun fold card tonight. I am using a little different paper than the card, the description that I showed you, only because I'm just doing different paper. Sorry, I've just lost my train of thought. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to be doing some measuring, so make sure you have a pencil and a ruler handy or nearby. You will also need your trimmer because we're going to do some scoring and some cutting, and I actually have to get mine out because I didn't do that. So I'm all set now. All right, so let's go over the pieces that we need, and I'm going to actually show you the card that we're going to make. So this is the card that we're going to make. Obviously it'll be different colors. So there is a little ribbon that ties it, and then it opens up like that. This is actually my Mother's Day card that I made for my mom. So that's why you get to see a little stuff inside. So you don't have to put the ribbon on it if you don't want. I did it because my mom likes ribbon and I like ribbon. So I'm just going to tie this back up for her. And we're going to get started, and I'm going to show you all the pieces that you'll need to make that card. So we are going to need some ribbon, probably about 18-20 inches of ribbon, but we'll get to that at the end. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And these are the card pieces that you're going to need. Move my ruler. Okay, so you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 5.5 by 8, not 8.5. Normally when we're making cards we do 5.5 by 8.5, but this is 5.5 by 8, and you need 2 of them. So hope you have 2 ready. Then you're going to need a piece of basic white cardstock, and this piece is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need 2 matching pieces of designer series paper where the patterns match. So one piece is, got my things on the back, this piece is 3 3/4 by 5 3/8. Excuse me. And then this piece, which is a little smaller, this piece is 3 3/4 by 4. So when I give you the measurements, the first measurement that I'm giving you is the measurement that's the horizontal measurement. The second one is the vertical. So if you have paper that's directional, like this one that has a stripe in it, you'll want to make sure that your 3 3/4 side is horizontal across the top, and that the long side, the vertical side, is 5 3/8. So horizontal, vertical. So if you watched any of my videos before, all the pieces are done like that. All the measurements are done just to make it easy for later. And then you're also going to need a smaller piece of cardstock that matches your base cardstock. This one is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. It's a nice little square. And then this one here is 2.5 by 2.5. And I'm just going to leave that there just for a second, and you can get the measurements down if you don't already have them, or if you want to grab some paper real quick and join me as we make this card. You can do it with me. So, or you can take a little screenshot just so you have it. Obviously this video will be on my Facebook page, and I'll also be posting it on YouTube. It'll have all of the measurements on there and a little bit of direction. So, okay. And I think we've frozen for some reason too. Hold on just a second. Let's see if this will help. Whoops. Let's see if I plug that in. Although I got plenty of power. All right. I think it's just my computer acting up. And yep, it's my computer. Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not sure if my computer will catch up with me or what, but it's gonna drive me crazy. Yep. Hold on. Ever have one of those days that things just don't go the way you want them to? Well, that would be today. So, and I'm not sure why my computer's doing weird things. I think I'm gonna have to buy a new one. All right. Okay, well, I'm not sure if you see me or not, so we're just gonna make the card and hope it comes out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna take the two pieces that are 5.5 by 8, and we're gonna do a little bit of scoring. We're actually gonna score them on the long side, on the 8-inch side. And we're gonna score both pieces the same. So you'll need to get your trimmer or your scorer and move the cutting blade out of the way because we only want to score. And we're going to score this at 2 inches. 2 inches. And then we're going to score it at 4 inches. So move that over to the 4. I'm going to score it at 4 inches. And that's one piece. Oop. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other piece. We're going to score it at 2 inches. And we're going to score it at 4 inches. Okay, just like that. And now we're done with that. And we are going to do a little bit of cutting with the two pieces of designer series paper. We're actually going to cut them in half. So this piece on the short side, this is 3 3/4. So on the short side, we're going to cut it at 1 7/8. So if you're at the 2 inch mark, go back 2 little hash marks. That's 1 7/8. And we're going to cut this time, not score it. We're actually going to cut it in half. And the reason we're cutting it is because when our card opens, these pieces will look like they're one piece if you didn't have this piece on top, and you don't have to have that. So, and then we're going to do the same with this piece. This is the 3 3/4 by 3 5/8, and this is, oh good, I got my computer back. And we're going to score or cut this on the short side, so we're going to cut this also at 1 7/8. So we're just cutting it right in half. Okay, and we're going to set those aside for just a minute, and we're going to work on the other, putting the card base together, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do a little more cutting. So make sure you put your trimmer close by, so don't put it away quite yet, because we are going to do a little bit more cutting. Okay, so now we have these two cards. This is where they're scored. So one, we're going to fold in, and then we're going to fold it out the other way, and we're going to crease it really good with our bone folder. And then this one's going to go the opposite direction, like that. And this piece, we're going to flip it over so that where we scored is on the opposite side. It's on the right-hand side, and we're going to fold it in, and we're going to fold this one out, just like that. So I'm going to just burnish these really good so we get a nice good fold on it. I'm going to flip this over even, do it on the other side. Okay, so now we have two pieces. This piece goes this way. This piece goes this way. I think you can see it a little better when you're looking down on what it looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these two pieces together in the middle, and we're going to glue those two together, and that's what's going to make the fold of our card. just like that. So it's going to open. We are going to do a little bit of cutting on that, and actually let's cut this first before we glue it together, because that'll just be a little bit easier. Okay, so this is where you're going to need your pencil and your ruler. So on this piece, which is the right hand side of our card, on the right hand edge, we're going to measure up from the bottom. I'm going to turn my ruler around, and we're going to put a little mark at 2 5/8. So I have 2, 2 1/2, 2 5/8. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut from this mark to here. You can just put it on your trimmer and cut. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can very lightly draw a line, and that you would, so you're going to be drawing a line from the center where it folds in the center, and you would just draw a really faint line like that to your point on the other side. So we are going to go ahead, so get your trimmer. So we are going to go ahead and cut that piece, and you're just going to line up the line that you drew, or your points, which I have a point down here, and this is where it folds right here, and make sure I have that in the middle, and we're going to cut that piece off. So there we go. So now our piece is going to fold like that. Okay, whoops. Need a new blade. Let's move that down a little bit. All right. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm just going to move that out of the way just for a second. This side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to, except for we're going to do it to the left-hand side. So you're going to take your ruler, I'm going to flip mine this way, and I'm going to put it at 2 5/8, and that would be right there. So I'm just going to make a little mark. I could flip my ruler around this way though, couldn't I? Just to make sure I got it in the right place. 2 5/8, right there. This time I'm not going to draw a line, so I can show you how you line it up without drawing a pencil line, because you don't have to do that. So we're going to cut from this mark here to the center here. So I'm just going to line that up. My center is right in the track. My little mark is right in the track down here. Just going to close this up and cut. And so these pieces are, you can throw away, or you can use as a scrap for something else. Okay, going to move that out of the way. So now when we put the card together, you'll see that it's going to fold out like that. So we need our adhesive or our glue, whatever you choose to use. I'm going to use liquid glue today. So I'm just going to put some on the back of my left-hand side. It doesn't matter which side you put over top of the other. They're both the same. So maybe I'm doing it this way because I'm left-handed. I don't know. So you do want it to go together just like this. And you're going to butt that piece right next to where it folds. So if you have a problem doing that, you can just kind of scooch it in. You just scoot that up just a tad. There we go. And just press it down really good. And there's your card. I might need to trim that just a tad. Yep, mine's hanging over just a little bit, so I'm going to just trim mine off to make it even. I must not have cut very straight. So if you have the same problem, you can trim yours too. Mine is not exactly quite even. Oops. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to put our designer series paper on. So if you notice, these are the two pieces that match in the middle. And this is how we're going to put them on. But we do have to make the angled cuts for these. So I'm going to lay these right here so you can see. And we're going to get out our pencil and our ruler one more time. Okay, so these, because we want them to go down this way, angled down. So we're going to measure down from the top of this piece, and I'm looking at my directions and seeing how far I'm doing it. 4 inches, 2 5/8. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong measurement. Hold on. My brain is thinking here. Okay. Okay. So we are going to measure up from the bottom 2 5/8. Although that doesn't seem right, does it? Hold on. Now I'm going to have to make myself measure because I think I wrote it down wrong. So it is that piece. Nope, that is right. Okay, nope, I was right. We're going to measure up from the bottom 2 5/8. And then we're going to cut from the corner to the mark. So we're going to cut this way. So if you want, you can just cut it on your trimmer, or if you'd like to draw a little line, you can do that. I would do it very lightly so that you can just erase it if it shows. So there's my little line. So we're going to cut that. There we go. We're just lining up the mark that I made with the top corner, and then we're just going to cut that off, and hopefully it'll fit on our card. Nope, it's too long. Oh, okay, I know what we did. We cut off a little bit at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on this side, and then we're going to do just a little bit of trimming. When I was making this the other day, we realized the pieces were a little bit too long. So we're actually going to cut just a little bit off the bottom, like 1/8 of an inch off the bottom, so that it will be in the exact right space. So we're going to do the same thing that we just did, but on the opposite side. We're going to measure up the side, and we're going to measure 2 5/8. As soon as I find my ruler, which is over here, flip it around. Over by the side, so it's 2. Oops, can't even see my lines. All right, 2 5/8, which is right there, and then we're going to cut to the inside corner. So I'm going to move these over here. Bring back my trimmer, and for this one, we're cutting from this mark to this corner. So I'm going to line it up that way. So this corner, and then my mark, I can barely see it because it's right on top of the flower, right where the thing is, in that corner. Hopefully I got it in the right spot. And we're just going to cut that off. Okay, so while we have our pieces here, we're going to turn them this way, and we're going to measure over this way just like 1/16 of an inch, and we're going to cut that off, and we're going to do the same with this piece. Just going to cut off 1/16 of an inch, and now our pieces should fit perfectly on here. So these pieces we're going to attach right here, and the other piece is going to go right there, and you can see that the patterns match in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and attach those right now. Okay. So I finally got my computer going, and there's people saying hello. So I have Hi, Louise. Oh, you're from Florida. Wow. I'm going to Florida next week. I'm going to Seacrest, Florida for a little vacation. So, hey, Megan. Are you going to try this tomorrow when you're more rested? I should probably try this when I'm more rested too. It's been kind of busy here. My mom is here visiting. I'm babysitting my daughter's dog for a while, and she's a senior dog, so she's 14. So I've got 2 senior people that I'm not babysitting, but helping take care of. So, all right, so that's those 2 pieces. And now we're going to work on the pieces that are these 2 pieces. Oops, let me get those out of the way. That are going to go right here on the cards. So you'll see them. So, this piece we're going to cut towards the middle, and the same with the other piece. So we're going to line these 2 pieces, cards up like this. So when we did the other pieces, we measured from the outside to this corner. For these 2 pieces, we're going to measure up the middle and go the opposite direction. So this one kind of looks like a house, and this one, once we cut it, is going to look like the roof caved in. So we are going to measure from the bottom, whoops, on the inside. Gotta flip my ruler around this way. There we go. We're going to measure up 4 inches from the bottom, and you're just going to make a little mark. And then we're going to the opposite corner this time. So we're going from the middle to the top right-hand corner. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. And I'm going to go ahead and measure it now. We're going to measure up 4 inches from the middle. And we're going to put a little mark there. And then this one, so a little mark there, is going to be cut from this point to the top left corner. This one's going from 4 inches up to the top right corner. So I'm just going to get my trimmer out, and we're going to trim from this corner down to that one. So I'm going to line that up, line up my mark right here, line up my corner right there. Hopefully I have it right. Oops, put that down, and we're going to cut. So this one, you can see it's going down toward the middle, and then this one, we're going to go the opposite direction. Move that out of the way. So we're cutting from this corner to this mark. So I'm just going to line that up. There's my mark down here. Oops, get my corner right in the track. There's my corner up there. Make sure I don't move it. Cut that off. And there we go. We have a little sunken roof. I can see my little pencil marks, so I'm just going to erase them real quick, because we don't want to see those. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. I am going to check this piece because we had the same problem with these pieces too, although this one seems to be kind of okay. So maybe not. And then this one is going to go on this side. And for some reason, this one is a little long, so this one is actually right down at the bottom, so I'm going to trim that off. Because sometimes my measurements are not quite right, or the paper is not quite right. So I trimmed off like about 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch. It was just enough to kind of keep it on the bottom. I could have trimmed it with a pair of scissors, but I didn't want to do that. So this piece is going to be right here. So we're just going to put some glue on the back of that. This is pretty paper, isn't it? This is one of the new papers that's in the catalog. It's called Hand Penned. And it looks like somebody kind of just took a black ink pen and just drew flowers and then colored them all in. Beautiful paper. And then this one, so now when you fold it, it looks like that. This one is going to go over on this side. Right here, just like that. I'm going to put some glue on there. Oops, move that out of the way. Yep. is going to go right here. All right, get my glue in the right spot here. Move it. There we go. The thing about glue is you can slide it around just a little bit to get it where you want it. So I didn't quite have it down straight. There we go. So there's our card. It's going to open like that. And the Whisper White piece that you had, that was 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, is going to go right here, right in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that. You can stamp on this before you attach it if you want. You can stamp on it after, because I might just do a little bit of that. So I'm going to put that right there. Usually I stamp on it before, but sometimes for a card I'm not sure when I'm going to put it in the middle, so sometimes I don't attach this piece until I'm ready to send it. I got a little bit of glue right there. I've got a handy dandy little gummy eraser here. It's going to take it right off. Oh, gone. Okay, so now the two pieces that we're left with are these two pieces and a ribbon. So this piece I'm going to stamp a sentiment on this piece, and then it's going to get glued on to this piece. And I'm going to put it, you can give this card just like this. You don't have to put anything else on it if you don't want. I want to put something right here on the front. It's going to go like that. And then when you open the card, it's actually going to kind of open like that. And this will be attached to just this one side panel. So I am going to do just a little bit of stamping. I have a thanks. This is the stamp set that I'm using that has the thanks on it. This is the hand pen petals. It coordinates with the paper. You can kind of see these flowers right here look like the flowers that are on here. You can probably see them better if it's folded together, and kind of see they're very similar. So you can stamp just a little bit of this flowers or a couple of these on your card too if you'd like. So I'm actually going to do just a little stamping. The paper color is mint macaron, so that's what I'm going to use to stamp with. You could use black too, so you might flip this over and stamp in black and let you take a vote and see which one you like better. So I'm going to stamp right in the middle here, and then I'm going to stamp some of these little flowers right here. This is all one stamp, but I'm going to see if I can just get some of these on there, and we're going to see what happens. So, actually, yeah. All right. So, let's see, this is kind of a very big stamp here. I'll get it off. There we go. And you need a bigger block to put it on. So I'm just going to kind of try and do it a little bit just in the background. So I'm going to stamp this, and then I'm going to stamp off, and hopefully you can see how pretty it is. When I stamp it again, it will be very light on here. There we go. And then I'm just going to attach that on here. You could color that if you wanted, but I think I like it the way it is. Just going to put that right on there. And then the ribbon, if you can just put this on just like this. If you want to put ribbon on it, you would put the ribbon on now. So this is Pale Papaya ribbon. This is one of the new ribbons that coordinates with all the new colors this year, and Pale Papaya is one of them. So this is probably about, I don't know, 18 inches. I just kind of eyeball it, just because we're going to tie it around. So what I did is I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here, and then the ribbon's going to stick to it. It won't stick to the back because this is sheer ribbon and I don't want to, you would obviously see the glue if you put it on. If you had a solid ribbon, you could tack it down a little bit on the back. So I'm just going to move this and get my adhesive. So I am going to use this, and I'm just going to put it right in the middle, right there. And that way, when I wrap it around, try and get these even here. It's just going to adhere right there. You can see it's kind of stuck on there. So, and this is going to hide it too, so that's okay. So then I'm going to put a little bit of glue just on the back of this, on the left-hand side. So I'm just going to kind of fold it over. I only want it on about half, so I'm going to do a little bit less than half. So just going to put some glue on just like that. I'm going to hold it down and put this on because we don't want it to adhere to itself or stick to itself, so, or glue our card closed. So there we go. So then this will get tied around here. You can tie it in a bow. Hopefully I can get it tied. You can also put some bling on this. That would be very pretty. I think some of the new in color gems would look great on this. And if I could find mine real quick, I could put some on. There we go. And then I'm just going to trim the ends so they're not quite so long. And there's our card. I think it needs some gems on there though, right on there. So there you go. There's your card. Of course, when you want to open it, now that I've tied such a pretty bow, then you're going to just open it just like that. And then you would have whatever greeting you want to put on the side. So there you go. So I hope you like this card, and I hope you'll try it at home. Hey Cruz, you finally made it. So let me know if you try this. I would love for you, if you make a card of this, I would love for you to put it in the comments later. I mean, you can come back. This video will be on my Facebook page, so you're welcome to show me what you made. Love to see it. So I hope hope you like the card. Hope you have a great Tuesday. And next Tuesday, I will be on vacation, so there will not be a Take Two Tuesday, but I'm going to try and post something fun for you to do and try on your own, and we'll see how you do. So have a great week, and we'll see you next time.